week, and it's a fairly strong wind today, and these cars have all got different size spoilers, which NASCAR are experimenting with just a little bit. And so a lot of people are going to be trying these out for the first time today in a full-scale draft situation.
35 cars will now start. There has been one retiree, Ronnie Sanders of Fayetteville. Sensational second-place finishes in his Ford last year. Beside him is Benny Parsons' younger brother, Phil Parsons. Then in row 4, the incredible A.J. Foyt, who played such an instrumental part in that victory in the 24 Hours of Daytona just a couple of weeks back. And beside him, Buddy Baker, who ran the fastest 500-mile race in history on this track in 1980. Going to row number 5, it's Dale Earnhardt, and he has beside him the Silver Fox, winner of 105 Grand National races, David Pearson. Moving to row 6, Harry Gant, the Bandit, who won 2 Grand National races last year, and from Sanford, North Carolina, one of the great veterans, J.D. McDuffie. In row number 7, it's Tommy Gale of McKeesport, Pennsylvania. And number 4, Connie Saylor. Remember 2 years ago in one of these 125-mile races, floated upside down 300 feet down the back straightaway. Sanders, a DNS, as we mentioned. Then comes Joe Boer in row 8. Moving along into row number 9, it's Buddy Arrington, one of the only Chryslers, an Imperial no less, out there. Starting on the inside, Ron Bouchard, who won the Talladega race on CBS a couple of years back. Starts on the outside of that row. Row 10 is Delma Cowart and Dave Marcus. Watch out for Marcus. He won at Richmond, Virginia a year ago. Row 11, the ARCA 200 winner this past Sunday, Farrell Harris of Pikeville, Kentucky, and Phil Duffy. Row 12 is Ralph Jones and Ronnie Thomas, the former Grand National Rookie of the Year. Row 13 is Clark Dwyer and Steve Moore. Then Elliott Forbes Robinson, the Trans Am Sports Car Champion, is on the inside of row 14 with David Simcoe flanking him. Moving to row 15, James Hilton. So many years out here trying. He's actually finished 3rd in the Daytona 500. Mike Potter is beside him. Row 16 is Dean Roper, and from Minnesota comes Blackie Wengeren. Going to row 17, Bruce Jacoby, a name well remembered for a lot of years in open cockpit competition. Giacomo Giacomo beside him. Then comes Dick Skillen, and from Quebec City, Laurent Rioux. Down on pit road, here's a report from Ned Jarrett.
Ken, the track might be dry, but it's a different situation on pit road here, and a lot of the crew members are a little concerned about the dampness on pit road because of the rain that we've had earlier here today, so they've cautioned all of their people and their drivers to be very careful when the cars come into the pits, because these tires that they use are not treaded tires like we would see on the highway, so they don't adhere to wet pavement very well. So they've cautioned all of the members up and down pit road here to be very careful when they come into the pit.
We're getting ready for green. These pace laps have been taken at a very leisurely 97.4 miles per hour. The record they're going against in the 125-mile races, 1970. The race record has stood against 25 challenges. Cale Yarborough has the record. He set it with the Wood Brothers number 21 at 183 miles per hour. Pace car is coming down, dives on the pit road, and as it ducks in there to the safety of pit road, the field is ready for the first 125-mile race. Joe Castellano wants the green flag on the Uno 125-mile qualifier number 1. And here comes the avalanche spilling down into the first turn. As they break, Joe Ruttman is on the outside. Remember, he placed 3rd here a year ago. He's carrying the same number 98, which his brother won the Indianapolis 500 back in 1952. And Ruttman right up against the wall as they go to 190 miles per hour. 3 wide. Down the inside, Darrell Waltrip makes his move. Waltrip going out in front. Elliott going to 2nd, and Buddy Baker. Buddy Baker with a new team this year. The Wood Brothers goes into 3rd spot.
It's right behind him, and Darrell Waltrip's making a brave start in this race. He's the only 4-time winner of these qualifying heats in a fairly short career, relatively speaking. And he's got a good lock on the lead at the moment. Field streaming out behind him down to single file. Winner of 12 Grand National races last year, Darrell Waltrip, the national champion, defending champion, goes back into the first turn. Right on the rear bumper as the speed goes all the way to the top. The tack banging away on the red mark. Goes out of turn number 2. Ruttman is right there with him with a very stout car prepared by Buddy Parrott. And the surprise, look at that Ford. Had real trouble qualifying. 5 miles an hour off the pace, but in the draft, Buddy Baker sticks right in there. That's Bill Elliott at number 9, running in 2nd. There's Ron Bouchard fighting his way up through. Well, Ron Bouchard's really one of those guys that could be on the bubble here. He qualified 18th. He's got to get in that top 14 to make the 500, but I'm sure he'll be able to. For those front 3 cars, with Buddy Baker's number 21 car there is just making a bit of a break.
One car going down early in the event.
Car number 54.
Now, here's an interesting situation. The Chevrolet Monte Carlo, the SS, runs up in front, but there are two Fords running in the second and third position. Bill Elliott, Dawsonville, Georgia, young driver. His two brothers, his crew on that car, have done a magnificent job with it. They hang right in there, and now you see, pulling back to fourth, right on the rear bumper, number 98, Rutland. Coming around a complete lap, number 3 of 50. On the point, Darrell Waltrip leading. Back to the line they come. Second spot belongs to Elliott. Third is Baker. Fourth is Rutland. Going fifth is Kyle Petty with A.J. Floyd in that red car right behind Kyle Petty running to stop it. And now Baker is down the inside. Baker crowding low, making a move. Getting around. He'll go up to second, and moving to third is Rutland. Elliott drops to fourth.
These four guys will be anxious to see to stay in line astern on that to give themselves the best drafting possibility of pulling away from the rest of the field. But A.J. Floyd going down the inside there.
Car number 54, Simcoe, retires. First retiree from the actual race. One car was a DNS. A.J. Floyd has taken over in fifth. Floyd carrying his Indianapolis car number 14 for the Daytona 500 this year.
In front. And Floyd is bringing with him Dale Earnhardt in another Ford who had such a strong race here last week.
Rushing along out of turn number 2. You're now watching them off the 31-degree west bank of the Daytona International Speedway. Nice stretch. And the bat of an eye. They're down that back straightaway headed for turn number 3. And Buddy Baker goes down in front. Joe Rutland goes to second place, falling to third, and here comes A.J. Floyd on the inside. Floyd is pulling up. He goes into fourth as he runs wheel to wheel with Bill Elliott on the outside. Out of turn 4. Back to the tri-oval to complete lap number 5.
Now Floyd's really going to be looking for a spot to get back in there. Otherwise he could get left behind as they all stream by on the outside.
He'll find a hole.
He's going to find one somewhere because he suddenly dropped from 4th back to where is he now, 9th.
A.J. was right beside Bobby Allison in practice the other day when a car in front of Allison blew an engine and destroyed Allison's second car. Bobby Allison working his third car. Look at this, 3 abreast on the back straightaway with Waltrip on the low side. Rutland going to lead, but Waltrip takes it back, and here comes Dale Earnhardt. Earnhardt into second. Rutland back to third. Holding fourth, Buddy Baker. Scampering around those high banks as they nudge and push, driving these cars for every bit they can get on this first 125-mile qualifier. We now have a 12-car freight train for the lead into turn number 1. And a bad crash coming out of turn 2. One car has somersaulted several times and been destroyed on the back straightaway. I believe it's to car number 05. Going side over side and end over end several times. Bruce Jacoby has badly crashed the back straightaway. You can see the remains of the car flung all through there. Bruce came down here without a ride and talked to us for some time about working with our CBS crew for this race, and then picked up a ride just 2 days ago.
Well, that looks a pretty horrifying crash. I don't think I've ever seen a NASCAR car look in such bad shape. And that was coming off that turn 2, which is the corner that we were looking for a bit of trouble from because of the wind. And it certainly seems to have caught Bruce Jacoby, number 05, there out.
Let's see, he was not, of course, running with the leaders. He was well back in the field. Car destroyed. I must tell you that I have seen Bruce in another accident similar to this, as bad, at Charlotte, North Carolina. He went end over end about 9 times several years ago. was badly injured, and at that time retired, but he has wanted to come back, got an opportunity here, and at the last moment had an opportunity to get in this race. There's Stevie Waltrip, who is scoring her husband, has heard the word that there has been a bad crash, but this time it does not affect her. The Twin 125-mile qualifying race number 1 is under caution in lap number 8 at the Daytona International Speedway. With the field completing 12 laps now under caution from a bad crash by Bruce Jacoby. Let's go to the pits and a report from Ned Jarrett.
Ken, we're standing by at the track hospital. Bruce Jacoby has been taken to the track hospital here for observation. We expect them to be transferring him to the Halifax hospital here in just a few moments. That's the word that we have here for further observation. Now let's go to pit road with Larry Newber.
Ned, Bruce Jacoby is one of the drivers that a lot of fans like to be around and like to see. Some may say that Bruce Jacoby over the years has been one of the guys who has filled out the field, but he's always been very loyal and very dedicated to the sport of automobile racing. He was involved in the transition a few years back in IndyCar racing when they went from the front engine to the rear engine cars. He's tried for quite a number of years to qualify for the Indianapolis 500-mile race up north, but never succeeded. His first love in recent years has been down here in the South running stock cars, but he has always kept his ties to the north. He's very closely aligned with the Potter family back home in Indianapolis, where the 3 Potter boys, or all 3 brothers, run actively on the USAC midget division. But Bruce Jacoby has been trying very, very desperately to get into the Daytona 500 field for the last 3 or 4 seasons.
The remains of car number 05, which was running 31st at the time of the incident, coming out of turn number 2. It has rained here day after day in Daytona. It would appear that maybe something just happened coming off. The car got caught in that mud off turn number 2. And
well, this is the problem. When it's been raining this heavily, the infield is absolutely saturated at the moment. I've never seen it as wet as it is. And, of course, you've only just got to get a wheel in that at that sort of speed, and over she goes. There's no question it's going to happen. 2-3 years ago, we saw a Cale Yarber spin there and get on the mud when it was also very wet, but he was extremely lucky. The car didn't roll, but he slid for hundreds and hundreds of feet, throwing up spray and mud. And unfortunately, Bruce Jacoby wasn't quite so lucky.
The All-American Holmes Pontiac by Bruce Jacoby in this race from Indianapolis, Indiana, destroyed here in the early going. Coming by to complete 13 laps, to complete 14 laps, 36 remaining. Field coming down to take green. Resumption of the Twin 125-mile qualifying race number 1. So they call it 514 positions available. Caution brought out by a terrible crash by Bruce Jacoby. Going back into the first turn, it is Darrell Waltrip on the point. In the second position, it is car number 15, Dale Earnhardt. And riding third is Joe Rutland. Then you see a 15-car length interval back to the fourth-place car, Buddy Baker. Kyle Petty is right there, running next in the 5th position. Then Bill Elliott in the 6th. Running 7th is A.J. Foyt. Going 8th is Ricky Rudd, who sat on the pole. And 9th at the present time is David Pearson, with 10th Ron Bouchard. Out of turn 4 and back to the line they come another time. Leader is Waltrip. Into the 4th position goes Kyle Petty as he moves around Buddy Baker. Kyle Petty with a whole new look on his car this year, carrying number 7, not the familiar Petty numbers of 42 or 41, 43. Number 7, the number with a complete new team. Kyle Petty running fourth.
Well, those front 3 cars were making a bit of a break for it, but Kyle and Buddy Baker have closed right up on him as they go into turn 3.
And Bill Elliott is back in 6th position, knocking on the door. There are the leaders. Out of turn 4, off the 31-degree banking, 1,600 foot straight away to the tri-oval. This is, by many people's consideration, the fastest part of the track, over 200 miles per hour right here, inches apart. In the 7th position, Ricky Rudd and A.J. Foyt is in 8th. Now Foyt drops to the inside of the red automobile, and he picks up a spot.
Ricky Rudd getting awfully close to the wall as they came off the tri-oval. It's very high there as they go through 1 and 2. A.J. Foyt alongside him, again getting left out of the draft. Right behind A.J. is Ron Bouchard.
And here's Bouchard back on the outside, and dropping back to ninth goes A.J. as Bouchard shot around the outside. Ron Bouchard at number 47 from Pittsburgh, Massachusetts, making his presence felt now among the leaders in this first 125-mile qualifying race. Back on the point, Waltrip in front. He's never won the Daytona 500. Remember in 79 when he finished second to Richard Petty in that incredible finish? Well, he wants to change it all. 112 racing. This is the one track where he hasn't won the big one.
He keeps winning these qualifying races, but he can't win the 500, which is obviously the one he really wants to win badly.
51 Grand National races have been won by Darrell Waltrip. He is the big breakthrough in Grand National racing. Here he is in front. Right behind him comes the man who was Rookie of the Year one year and then won the national championship the next, Dale Earnhardt. That's Darrell Waltrip, your leader. And he's been out in front right from the very beginning.
Smiling Darrell Waltrip there, but I bet his face isn't setting that same smile quite at the moment.
7/10 of a second separate the first 11 cars. Past the stands, they will be packed come Sunday for the 25th annual $1 million Daytona 500. Trouble. Del McCowart's car is down on the inside. There's a couple more, and caution is coming out. Field racing back to the line. They are down at turns 1 and 2. And everybody is lifting. No one's taking any chances. You can see them coming off the throttle a bit and holding it as they come around. Those crew chiefs on their radios to their drivers. We've got big problems up ahead. Let's go to Ned Jarrett.
Ken, we're still standing by at the track hospital. As you can see, they're moving Bruce Jacoby now to put him in the ambulance to take him to the local Halifax hospital. His wife, Yana, just came in a few moments ago to be with him, so they'll be transporting him over there for further observation.
Del McCowart of Savannah, Georgia, in a Buick automobile, and Mike Potter of Johnson City, Tennessee, in an Oldsmobile, involved in that collision in turn number 3, which brought out the second caution of the race. We are now working the 22nd lap. That means we've completed 55 miles in the first of the twin 125-mile qualifiers at the Daytona International Speedway. After 21 laps, a wholesale change of positions. You see some of the cars that are running up in front now and trying to stay in it. Preparing for the restart. Second restart in the twin 125-mile qualifying race number 1 for the Daytona 500. Single file down into the east banking they go with Buddy Baker on the point. Ricky Rudd, the man who will sit on the pole Sunday, qualifying at over 198 miles per hour there in second. Remember that Cale Yarborough actually turned a lap at 200 miles an hour, but in his second lap of qualifying destroyed the car right here where these cars are running now. And since he had to re-qualify in a new car, that old mark could not stand. So it will be with an asterisk. That record will go in the book. Well, here they come, braking as they get the green flag from Harold Kinder, and what an assault on the flyover.
Well, we're getting down to the wire on this race. There's only another 30-odd laps to go. And as we've already stressed, this is a very, very important race because you've absolutely got to finish in the top 14 to guarantee yourself a spot in the 500.
Key player A.J. Foyt picked up about 4 automobiles. A.J. is on the bottom side, and he is plugging that car on a turn number 2.
But again, if he's not careful going down that very fast back chute, he's going to get left out by that row of cars up by the wall. There we see Dale Earnhardt right behind pole sitter Ricky Rudd as they go through turn 3 and 4.
Car number 73, Moore, is smoking. He'll be retiring from the event. Stand right for that young man. He's made a couple of stabs here before. Steve Moore. Field comes rolling down to complete. 25. They are completing lap 24. One more lap to the halfway point. One more lap to the halfway. Ricky Rudd out in front. He is sponsored by an airline. Right now he is flying. That car number 3. Another car smoking and slowing down. Connie Saylor in trouble.
Connie Saylor nearly had a lot of people in trouble there. He slowed down dramatically and pushed a lot of people high going through turns 1 and 2, but everybody got by all right.
Former Grand National Rookie of the Year out in front, and there may be a consultation flag coming out there. You see the apparatus by which they tell them on a light as well as the black flag they are to come in here at the racetrack. Back to the line another time comes Ricky Rudd of Chesapeake, Virginia, in the Richard Childress car. Halfway on the field. Halfway being indicated in the field. Dale Earnhardt, who had such a great year back in 1980. Then it all fell apart on him. 1979 rookie Rookie of the Year. He's right there, beating on the door in the Bud Moore car number 15. Ricky Rudd, the baby-faced kid with the iron foot, stays up in front. Car number 66, Phil Parsons, on pit road, brother of Benny Parsons, in his first Grand National race. Brings his car in, say sayonara to his chances here unless he has a very fast time. Back straight away as we watch moments on Phil Parsons' car. It is Ricky Rudd leading. Second spot. A.J. Boyd has moved to third. Let's go to Ned Jarrett.
Ken, we're still standing by the hospital. The report is, we did report that they had taken Bruce Jacoby to the local hospital. One of his crew members came by and said that, of course, he was breathing, that he was unconscious, but they're taking him for further observation, and his wife, Jana, has gone with him to the Halifax hospital.
Thank you, Ned. Front-running position is Ricky Rudd. Second is Dale Earnhardt, and then the Giant, A.J. Boyd, flies third in the field. Buddy Baker is in fourth. Sensationally fast lap. Two cautions. Here comes Earnhardt into first at turn 3. A.J. Boyd comes up in the second spot. They'll take Buddy Baker through with him into third spot, putting Ricky Rudd back in the fourth spot. This shows how quickly the position can change in these tremendously high-speed races around the overhead. Back to the tri-oval. Earnhardt in first. Here's Boyd nosing down the inside. Crowd on their feet, as well they should be. Here they are, side by side, back to the first turn. And Super Tex takes the lead in the 125. A.J. goes in front. Earnhardt is in second. Darrell Waltrip flying third. Buddy Baker is in fourth. Kyle Petty running a tremendous fifth. Then comes Joe Ruttman in sixth. The last time that A.J. Boyd won a 125-mile qualifier here at Daytona was in his Buick 1978. No chance of a record. This one that Cale Yarborough set in 1970 with two cautions. That record of 183 is another challenge. By caution. Talk about excitement. Look at that field.